Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, let's talk about the importance of environment. Now, I've said this before, that environment is everything. Your internal environment, aka your mind, your external environment, aka your space, your social circle, aka the friends around you, your working environment, aka the total addressable market, the amount of value you can create through your working environment. These are all factors that determines how far you go. So let's say, for example, you have 5 friends who are expert in bikes. If all your friends talk about all day is bikes, you will be an expert on bike, or somewhat an expert on bikes. If your 5 friends around you is talking about games, you will be an expert in games, or you will be somewhat of an expert in games. If your 5 friends around you are negative, they complain all day, and they are victimizing themselves, you will be the next victim that is negative and victimizes himself. So this is why it's important to create your environment and create the necessary environment for you to succeed. Your internal environment is your mindset, whether or not it is a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. Growth mindset allows you to remove self-limiting beliefs, and this is very important because you cannot cling onto the identity of your past self, because your future self will never be the same as your past, and your future can grow. You will never be the same. Having an abundance mindset means that you're willing to invest in yourself, you're willing to identify opportunities and take smart calculated risks, so that you're better able to close up the knowledge gap on wealth and identify opportunities when crises come, take certain form of calculated risks, and having this mindset when the time is right will climb you up to another level. The more chaotic your mind is, the more chaotic your external environment will be. So let's say if your environment is in a mess, means that your mind is in a state of mess, and this will get reflected externally. Things will be a mess. And let's bring this back to wealth level. So you may ask this question: how does having a messy external environment affects how you build your wealth? What has this got to do with wealth? The answer to the question is, it is the amount of attention you spend on things. So let's say, for example, if your house is messy, if your external environment, your space is messy, your attention will be everywhere. You are not able to focus. The more focus or attention you are giving to your career or the things you're trying to build, the more wealth you will create.
Who make a ton of money manage extremely well, and people who do not. And a lot of people, I would say, mistakenly think that the number one resource is time, right? Everyone's like, time is money, time is money, time is money. And I would argue that that's not necessarily true. I would argue that attention is money. That is the golden resource. So the billionaire friend that I have, on his phone does not ring unless you are already a contact that has been whitelisted. His phone doesn't ring. He's impossible to reach. The more successful, the larger your company grows, the more you scale, the more you need to scale. And the only way to scale you is because you do have a finite amount of attention. And so what happens is you have to decrease all of the other things in your life that drain attention, because you can have as much time as you want, but if you're not there, you're not potent, you're not able, always everywhere and at the same time nowhere, right? And so they're everywhere, but they're not paying attention to anything.
If your external environment or space is messy, this will take away all the attention spent and you're not able to focus. And that is why designing your external environment is important. And your external environment is a reflection of your internal mind. So if we work from first principles and we try to identify the root cause of the problem, you'll realize that you will have to first fix your internal mind, your belief system. And having the right mindset and narratives will cause you to have a growth mindset, and you'll stop victimizing yourself, be more positive, and this will create a clean, simple external environment that you're able to focus and pay attention on the things that are actually important. Okay, so the last important thing you have to pay attention for environment is your working environment. Now, for your working environment, you have to realize what is the total addressable market. Where is your ceiling? So let's say, for example, if a person is working as a security guard, his ceiling for his wages or salary will not climb over a certain amount of threshold, be it $4,000 or $5,000. Even if the person is the best of best security guard, he will not be able to make more than $10,000 per month because there's a ceiling or limitation. A person will not need a specialized skill set for him to be a security guard, and hence there's an unlimited amount of supply and there's only a limited demand. So unlimited supply of security guard versus a fixed amount of demand for security guard jobs. And that is why there is a ceiling or limitation to the salary. So if you ask the right questions, it is not about having the degree or not which makes you stand out. So you have to specifically ask yourself what are things you have unique advantage on, and you have to go into details to design your work environment and ask yourself a few things. You have to ask yourself this question: what products, what service, what job or what skill in high demand but in low supply? And are you able to use some form of leverage through labor, capital, media or code? So if these 2 criteria is met, you can focus your time and attention in building this structure. If what you're currently working on right now does not fulfill these 2 criteria, do not focus all your time and attention on the job itself. Try to shift your time and attention and look for the projects that fulfill these 2 criteria instead. So environment is extremely important when it comes to wealth building. And for me, personally, I start from changing my mindset first. And that is by reading books, listening to podcasts, listening to the right people, and removing narratives that does not serve me well. Slowly learn to unshackle all the useless narratives that is harmful for me in terms of my mindset. Once your internal environment is the best it can be, your external environment will be the best it can be. Okay, with that, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.